It's become part of the city's culture, identity, history. But this sport goes beyond the fortress. The Scarlet and Gray.
The UNLV men's hockey team has dominated.
Our boys in silver.
It's a great opportunity, it's a great challenge, it's the right time. It feels right.
The Monsters in the north.
The Golden Knights are beefing up their minor leagues with the Night Monsters. They begin playing this upcoming season.
And the next generation.
When we scored the overtime goal, it's like, really? That just happened?
The Vegas Junior Golden Knights girls made history by becoming the first female hockey team to represent the state.
They live at the rink. They love the game.
Vegas wanted hockey, Vegas got hockey.
Covering every local team on the ice, this is Hockey in the Desert Weekly.
Welcome inside another edition of Hockey in the Desert Weekly. I'm your host, Vince Sapienza, and because I'm sure no one has said it to you just yet, a Happy New Year to you and yours. Now, with the calendar officially 2025, everyone is looking forward to the Four Nations face-off next month with the NHL players, but the United States put the rest of the hockey world on notice, giving them a possible preview of what's to come with the World Junior Championships this past weekend in Ottawa.
Lead pass for Stiga. Here comes Teddy Stiga. Oh, Stiga shoots, scores! Teddy Stiga, golden goal! And the United States has won back-to-back World Junior gold medals for the first time in its history.
There it is, thanks to this finish from Teddy Stiga. The United States bring home the gold, rallying back from a 2-goal deficit, beating Finland in overtime 4-3. All right, it is time to settle in and fire home a snapshot of our own. Here's what's in store for the next 30 minutes. We'll look back at the Golden Knights' recent run and highlight a couple major milestones. Plus, the Silver Knights seem to be climbing their way up the standings. And tonight, we've got the big dog in town. Skating Rebels bench boss Anthony Vignieri-Greener in studio. We'll break down what I would argue the biggest upset in college hockey history. But first, we go to the Fortress, where the Golden Knights open up the new year with the old school steel gray sweaters. Ilya Samsonov getting the start in this one, though not the kind of start he was hoping for. The Flyers fine and twine 21 seconds into the game. Tyson Forrester crashing the crease, picks up the loose puck and gives the Roadies a 1-0 lead after one. So we jump to the second, not even a minute in. Jack Eichel slicing and dicing his way in the zone, puts it toward the net, and there to punch it in is the captain. Mark Stone, parked near the paint, picks up his 9th of the season. And then check this out, 81 seconds later, Keegan Colasar, the give to Nick Hague, wraps it around for the third of his campaign. Take another look as Hague, who is the one who forces the turnover, puts it in. And with under 2 minutes left in the stanza, it's Pavel Dorofeyev gripping and ripping his 14th, an absolute laser. It's 3-1 after 2. Vegas would extend their lead in the third to close this thing out. It's a 5-2 victory and a nice bounce-back win after losing in regulation on New Year's Eve.
But tonight we were able to kind of get the lead to 3 with Holtzy's goal, and then you're kind of, if you give up one, you're still in a really good spot. Like a couple bad bounces on that penalty kill, but they get one, and but after that we really locked it down.
Obviously, the Montreal one wasn't the finish we wanted. That's not our style of hockey in the third period. So definitely was a focus point and talked about between the second and third, and we did our job.
I thought we did a good job. Able to get the next one, and then I think one more after that. We'll just get we got 5. So it was good. I like the way we finished the game.
So a good win for the Golden Knights and a big game for Alexander Holtz, who snapped a 10-game slump, scoring his first goal in over a month. It was his third of the season, and it came early in the third period. And while it no doubt was a confidence booster for the 22-year-old, it was this block shot late in the game that not only won over his teammates, but his head coach as well.
If I can turn my 10 minutes into 11 minutes, by doing that and the coach trusting me, then that's how I'm going to get on the ice more. And that's it. That's a sign of, to me, someone that cares and they want to get on more. So I was happy to see that puck go in because not a whole lot have for him, but and he can score. We're trying to build in a little more of a role in the power play. We don't get that many. The bumper spot with Nick Waugh and Barbie being out, who are usually on the second unit a lot. So they just haven't got much ice time, unfortunately. And goal scorers need to score eventually. He's one of those guys. But good on him to not cheat and find, like I said, something where he can hang his hat on for now, and when he leaves the rink, say, hey, I helped us win tonight by doing so-and-so. That's, to me, a sign of a good teammate.
So a couple days later, the Knights kept the good times rolling against visiting Buffalo. And the story of this game, to the surprise of no one, was Jack Eichel in the first. The former Buffalo captain dropping a dime to the current Knights captain. That's Mark Stone's 10th of the season and the 600th NHL point of his career. But Eichel was not done exacting his revenge on his former franchise, grabbing the spicy mustard, tickling the twine for his 11th of the year. And after the game, number 9 was asked if that one had any special meaning.
Yeah, of course, always. There's always an emotional aspect, and I think any guy who's played somewhere and moved on to another situation, I think whenever you play against your former team, you always want to have a good game, and you see it during the course of the season, whether we're playing San Jose and it's Hurts, or Stoney's playing Ottawa. You can go down the list. So it's the same for me, and yeah, it was good for us to get the win, and I liked a lot of the way we played.
Now, while Eichel had the headlines, it was Tanner Laczynski breaking the ice against the Sabres. Victor Olofsson, a late scratch due to illness, so in comes Laczynski and nets his first goal as a Golden Knight in just his 6th game with Vegas. It was his 3rd goal of his NHL career and first since, get this, November 21st of 2022. I asked if the feeling was more relief or happiness.
Yeah, pretty much all of it. Atmosphere, not scoring like you said, however long. Got my kid and my wife here, just everything together, just good feeling. Yeah, that's honestly, anytime you score a goal, it's special, but doing it here in this building, it makes it that much better. So.
Big goal for him, happy for him, right? Different guys are contributing for us, especially in this run. So, and he got it going to the net, wasn't lucky. It was good play. Good play all around. Whitey to follow it up and then get it to the net. And so happy for him.
Now, before we flip the page on the calendar, 2024 ended on somewhat of an emotional note for one particular Golden Knight. Tomas Hertl traded to Vegas this past March, but due to an injury, last played for the Sharks in late January. Nearly 11 months later, he made his long-awaited and anticipated return.
Lines it around the wall. Long wrist shot for Michael towards the net, and Hertl scores! Can a Gold Knights go to the fortress? Hertl with a steal. Up ice comes William Karlsson, trying to center it, and Karlsson scores!
The Golden Knights went into their Christmas break on a winning note, thanks in large part to Tomas Hertl, who was named the first star. And while the rest of the team was looking forward to the next 3 days off, number 48 was looking ahead to the next task at hand.
We got a big game in San Jose, so I'm excited for that too. Really excited, but at the same time can be fun. Can't wait to be over with it because I really don't know what to expect, honestly.
Hertl played 712 games across his first 11 seasons sporting the teal sweaters. And in his return to his first NHL home, he was greeted to a video tribute and standing ovation.
Tomas Hertl returning to San Jose for the first time since that big trade to Vegas last spring, and he's honored with a pregame ceremony tonight.
Vegas won the game, and Hertl's stat line wasn't much to write home about, with just a single shot on net, a block shot, and a penalty taken. But he says it's a night he won't soon forget.
It definitely was a nice tribute, nice from the fans, give me a little clap. So it was really weird, honestly, after 11 years. It was first time coming back, so yeah, the feelings was mixed up, especially early the game, because for so many years, the fans be cheering for you, and I think fans always like me, so that was definitely a little weird, but still happy for 2 points.
Despite all the ice, we're just getting warmed up here on Hockey in the Desert Weekly. When we return, we'll check in with what's happening in Henderson, and I go one-on-one with Jonas Ronbeard. Get an update on his latest call-up with the VGK. Keep it here.
You're watching Hockey in the Desert Weekly.
go. Welcome to HSK today. Brian McCormick in the lineup. How they move the puck up ice, the physicality. It's just something you can see. And he missed the call. And I don't know. At that point, how do you miss a call that's so blatant? At that point in the game, if you're not going to call anything, then don't call anything. But the decisions that they're making. The precision's unbelievable.
For those that don't know, that was the incomparable Brian McCormick, legendary voice of the Silver Knights and soon-to-be award-winning actor, as you no doubt saw, advertising the newest HSK Silver Bells mug. Now, unlike the Golden Knights, Vegas's AHL club has not had a lot to celebrate this season or toast or cheers to. They started their new year staring up in the Pacific Division standings. The Silver Knights open up 2025 in Bakersfield, playing in their first ever overtime game this season. To believe that, HSK rallied back from 3 separate one-goal deficits, and then in the third, Riley McKay would give Henderson its first lead, but the Condors would tie it up with 38 seconds to go in the game and then take the full 2 points in the extra frame. 5-4 your final.
We're proud of our pushback. I think we did a real good job to get it level going in for the final 20 minutes. We take the lead there. You know, the third period, I thought as the period went on after we scored, we got heavier on pucks. Heavier on the battles. We were willing to play in behind them, and it led to some more opportunities to try to increase our lead. Unfortunately, we couldn't.
All right, so let's go to Game 2 of the home-and-home series at Lee's Family Forum, where the Silver Knights picked up their first win of 2025, never trailing in this one, crushing the Condors 4-1. Carl Lindbaum made 36 saves on 37 shots, picking up his third win of the season. 21-year-old Braden Bowman broke the ice, netting his 8th of the year, and now has 8 points in his last 8 outings.
Just kind of going towards the net. Today was a lucky bounce. I'm happy I got that one, but I think our line was just clicking. We had a really good shift there, and then kind of just getting the bounces right now, and hopefully it keeps going. We were pretty heavy in our battles tonight for the most part. We got away from it a little bit there in the second, but we got back to it, which is always good. And I think kind of at the point of the table there in Bakersfield, but we're happy to get the 2 here and get through the weekend.
Jonas Ronberg made his Golden Knights debut back in 2021 and has since been one of the more reliable and consistent call-ups in team history. He's made a number of trips between America First Center and City National Arena, 3 alone just this season. I caught up with a 25-year-old this week and asked how different it feels getting the call to the big club these days.
Ronberg down the wall, fights his way to the end boards.
The same thing, you got to go up and prove that you're able to play and try and stick around. So it's a similar feeling. It's another opportunity. So. Just trying to show that that he can trust me out there and I'm able to play. You got to show it every time you get called up. It's not just given. You got to earn it every time. So even though you had one good shift, the next one you got to reset and do the same thing again, good or bad shift. So every time you get the opportunity to go out on the ice, show him that he can trust you. You got to not think too much about it. It's just it's the same game, right? So you got to go out and play to your strengths and have fun and show what you can do.
6-on-5 hockey. This gets tied up here. Shot there, saved by Vikman. The rebound trickles all the way down. This one is going toward the empty net, and it's in. Oh my goodness!
The first goalie goal in Tahoe Night Monsters history belongs to Jesper Vikman. The Golden Knights prospect lit the lamp collecting the win. Vegas's ECHL team continues to rewrite the record books and in the process climb the standings as they now sit 2nd in the division, 3rd in the conference, and 7th in the entire league as we approach the midpoint of the season. And don't forget, if you can't get up to Tahoe, you can't watch the Night Monsters on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Your next chance will be soon. Now still ahead on Hockey in the Desert Weekly, it is time to turn our attention to the Scarlet and Gray. We look back at the historic road win in Denver against the reigning, defending Division I NCAA National Champion Pioneers. Head coach Anthony Vignieri-Greener is in studio to break it all down. That's next. Welcome back inside Hockey in the Desert Weekly. Vince Sapienza here. We've talked gold, silver, even that team in teal up in Tahoe. But now it's time for a little scarlet and gray. And to do that, we had to bring the big dog. The Vegas bench boss, UNLV hockey, Skating Rebels head coach Anthony Vignieri-Greener. Coach, welcome back. And what an eventful end to 2024 it was for you. For those that were living under rock and did not see the news online, UNLV hockey upset the reigning defending NCAA Division I champion Denver University Pioneers 7-6 in shootouts. I guess, Greener, as we sit here now, a few days removed into 2025, has it sunk in what you guys were able to accomplish?
Yeah, it was a wild ride. Just looking back at it, I get text message still today. It was amazing, just what the boys went through, the ups and downs of the roller coaster ride, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
How do we describe this? I know we talked shortly after. Like, what is the comparison of UNLV hockey, ACHA team, taking down the national champs?
Yeah, my staff and myself went through it. We were going back and forth of what it would be like, so I think to compare it would probably be like a JUCO football team beating Alabama in its prime with Saban. That's just kind of what we think. It's unheard of, That's never happened before. A team like that many draft picks. But that's kind of what we compare it to. We shock the world for sure.
Yeah, it's not hyperbole when we say it's one of the, if not the biggest upsets in college hockey history. And so, to put that in perspective, ACHA hockey is not Division I, and this DU team had 14 players on the team drafted to the National Hockey League. Take me in the locker room. Take me into the jubilation that was postgame.
Postgame, yeah, it was wild. Obviously we chatted as a staff for a second. We celebrated. Just walking in the locker room and just telling the boys how proud I am. Besides getting married and having my two daughters, it's the proudest moment of my life, honestly, of what they went through, the sacrifice of missing Christmas vacation or their break, excuse me. But for them to miss that and sacrifice everything they've done, they're tired of hearing my voice, tired of hearing Nick's voice, tired of hearing Sierra's voice. But they put it all together in one big game and shocked the world.
I remember when we talked about in the summer, you said, you wanted to step up in competition, give your team a challenge ahead, and that is the form of NCAA Division I teams. Oh, yeah. And so you obviously play 2 at the top of your season. Fresh out of preseason, things are a little rough. You go through the rigors of a regular season, 16 games or so, and then you tell the boys, hey, I know you get normally a holiday break.
Yeah.
We're going to practice instead and then travel to the reigning champs. There's buy-in, and now there's buy-in, right?
Oh,
there's a
100%.
difference.
Yeah, no, they were, on our preseason meeting, we do it Zoom in June, every June, just get on, basically go over our whole schedule, let them know. And every kid, as soon as it came out of my mouth, was like, I'm in. And that's the culture that we've built here. And it's a testament to, each and everybody that's been here. It keeps getting better and better every year.
I know you were telling me you had over 400 text messages by the time you got back to your phone after that game. I'm curious, okay, now a few days removed now, what does this look like for the program? Obviously a lot of confidence within the room, but for the program as a whole, I imagine recruiting, this has got to be one of the biggest gets you can.
Oh, yeah. No, after the game, some of those text messages were future recruits, high-end recruits that we look forward to having here at UNLV. But for us, I think that it's bringing the public more knowledgeable about our program, trying to get it a feasibility study done here at UNLV, so maybe that helps push it a little bit. But for us, I think we're just continuing to grind each and every day. Our end goal is to win a national champion, and having a game like this really helps push us towards our goal.
And when you say feasibility study, that means making that next step in terms of getting this program to an NCAA Division I program as well. And I guess you saw Del Monte scoring the shootout winner. You're captain. I know what a moment that was. But, okay, so now the moment and the excitement of that game, now you got to transition it and kind of channel that energy into this coming weekend, back home, City National Arena, against a 2-game series with Jamestown, a team that you guys are battling in that top 5.
Yeah, no, I think it starts today with all the guys getting back, and our message as a staff is going to be like, okay, we did, we shocked the world, but that means nothing now. Now it's time for a 2-game series against the number 3 ranked team in the country. Like you said, we're fighting to get to that top 4, and that's going to be huge. So we have to reset. I want us to live in the moment and embrace the new target on our back.
And you need that crowd, that CNA crowd as always.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. It's been a while since we've been at home. When we score a goal in that place, it goes bananas. So I'm excited to get back Friday night.
Skating Rebels head coach Anthony Vignieri-Greener. Coach, always appreciate your time. Thank you. Congrats again. We'll chat down the line after the break. It is time to clear the ice. When we return, it is one you do not want to miss. Stay with us. Welcome back inside Hockey in the Desert Weekly. It is now time to check in with the Golden Knights of yesteryear in our continuing quest. And we start in Calgary. Now, all the medieval maniacs know how short-tempered Jonathan Marchessault can be, but it seems things boiled over in a big way with Flames forward Matthew Coronato. For just the second time in his career, Marchessault dropping the gloves and spirited bout and earned some stick taps along the boards. Now, over in New York, it's been a rough go for the Blue Shirts, most recently seeing their number one netminder Igor Shesterkin placed on the IR, but never fear, Rangers faithful taking over as the three-time Stanley Cup champ. Jonathan Quick stepping up and showing out, earning first star of the game honors, making 32 saves in a win against the Bruins. And this next continuing quest, it's really an honorable mention. Jason Zucker, not a former Golden Knight, but a Vegas native, and he's having a bit of a renaissance season for the Sabres. He recorded his third career hat trick, also reached the 400-point milestone, and then over the weekend scored a power play goal in Vegas at T-Mobile Arena against the Golden Knights with friends and family in the crowd. Now, as we wrap up Hockey in the Desert, it is everyone's favorite time. Got to clear the ice. And to do so, we go to House League Henderson, where Jackson Sapienza, look at that! That's called winning time. That's called being in the right spot. Look at this celly. Now, he's been practicing his own celebration he forgot, and then he just remembered right there, putting the sword in the sheath. But take another look. Just parked near the paint, punches it in, burying the biscuit with the stick. Look at him. Making sure I'm watching. Yes, I'm still watching. Back to the play. Celly, making sure I saw the celly, and away we go. This has been Hockey in the Desert Weekly. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we're back at it next week.